Hi, welcome to my next tutorial, which shows you how to take your makeup look to the next level of Get the Glam. So instead of taking off Get the Glow, I'm just going to add on top of that makeup to take it to the next level. So I start off by concealing the eyelids, just giving a foundation for the eyeshadow colours to go onto. With my 224 brush, I've loaded it up with a really nice pigment called Blood Moon from the Pat McGrath Labs, and I'm just sculpting out a socket line and elongating the shape. It's quite big and exaggerated at the moment, but I tend to use a concealer brush, a big concealer brush, and I knock everything back. So I basically blend it off, so it's not as big and bold. It's just more blended off. And then using a thinner brush to take it under the eyes, because you don't want it to drag the eyes down. So I find that a thin brush works better for under the eyes. 221 from Max Good. This is the highlighter pigment. It's a beautiful colour again from the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership palettes. And basically, I find that these work better if you spray your 224 brush with Evian water spray and then apply the product. It goes on more like a liquid. It's intense, it's really highlighting, and I'm just using it to go up to the socket line but not beyond the socket line. So all the way along the lid. I apply a couple of coats and it does look quite amazing. It reads really well. And then I'm just going to add, using my brush that I used under the eye, I'm going to add a little bit more into the socket line to give it that little bit more definition. And I just think that this will give the eye more intensity. So you've got the highlighter and then the socket line, and it's kind of light to dark. So highlighting and shading. The next part, I'm going to use another brush, which is, I think this is my Laura Mercier brush, and using a pigment that's slightly darker, I'm going to sculpt out the outer edge and a tiny bit more along the socket line. Just to give it more intensity on the outer edge. This is a colour, it's like an opalescent colour. I didn't quite know when I was using it that it would read very different colours. It reads green and then it reads very pink. It's a beautiful colour, interesting to play with. And I'm just going to take a little bit along the underneath. Now, just to give the eyeliner a little bit more intensity, or the eye line, I'm using a Kohl Pencil and taking it really close to the lash line. I like the Kohl Pencil because it's grease. It smudges really easy into the lash line, which gives it that intensity without looking like too harsh a line. And I'm using an angled brush to blend it into the eyeshadow. So therefore you get the intensity of the darkness without it having to look like a liquid solid line. So, and it also breaks up the makeup, so it goes more intense at the inner eye, and then highlighter, and then in the socket line goes darker. And so you're creating highlight and shades the whole way along. Taking it underneath as well, and obviously concentrating on the outer edges just to give it that definition and intensity again. Trying to elongate the eyes slightly to make it, it's a big beautiful eye makeup. I'm just going to brush Annabelle's eyebrows. She's got really defined eyebrows, so I don't really need to add any colour. I'm going to curl the lashes. Curling the lashes opens up the eye, so it's always good to have a good eyelash curler. This mascara is Dior Show Mascara. I really like the wand with this mascara. Obviously I'd normally use a spoolie, but I only use this mascara on Annabelle for hygiene purposes. It's just really good at elongating the eyelashes and extending them. Next I'm going to use some concealer on the lips so I can add my lip pencil. I'm just going to use Subculture, which is a very kind of neutral beigey lip pencil. It just basically carves out a little bit of colour onto the lips without looking too lipsticky. I use my Q-tips to get rid of any like edges or smudges, and then sharpen it up using my touche clay and my concealer brush to make the lip liner really sharp. Next I'm going to use my Trio highlighting trio. Again, it's called Iridescent Pink from Pat McGrath Labs, and I'm using this on the highlighter and the cheek, so it's kind of quite a big area that I'm covering, and give it a beautiful kind of glow. This is my powder, just taking away any hot spots around the chin, nose and forehead area, and just re-adding a tiny bit more of the iridescent pink just to give it that real intensity, and blend it off with my concealer brush just so that there's no harsh lines between the foundation and where the blush starts and finishes. A little bit of taupe, looks quite intense, not really, because I blend it all back again with my concealer brush, and then using my eyeliner I go along the lash line, the whole way along the lash line. You can dot it along or you can try and draw it, but I tend to just do it in sections, really close to the lashes, so that it gives that last bit of intensity, the darkness, really close to the lash line. It doesn't have to be like a liquid line, but the liquid does blend in really well to the Kohl pencil, which blends into the eye pencil eyeshadows. So there we go. It's a finished look.